Welcome back to the news at 10. More people at the grassroots have continued to support the second-term bid of the Ogun State governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Ibikunle Amosun, when Governor Amosun's local government campaign train arrived at Odogbolu local government area. The people received him warmly as the governor took time to educate them on the importance of their PVCs.
This spirited reception is what usually characterizes the visit of Ogun State governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Ibikunle Amosun, to any part of the state. The people of Odogbolu local government welcome Senator Amosun and his campaign train. His first stopover is at the Mobalufon Trailer Park, where he admonishes the residents not to sell their PVCs.
Those of us that are here to collect our PVC, there will be another opportunity. We have been told that our PVC will arrive by this weekend. Whichever day they give us, we will declare working day to enable all of us to go and collect our PVC. When we collect our PVC after the collection, please don't sell your PVC.
At the rally ground in Odogbolu, the local government headquarters, Senator Amosun assures the people of continued positive change that the entire APC team will bring at the federal, state and local government levels.
I have been told that they are going around and no problems, vote for governor, this vote for another person for rep, another person for senator. Don't answer them, he must be for APC.
And the people of the local government are happy to endorse Senator Amosun and his team.
There was a day they towed one of our truck around 9:30 to 10 midnight. The governor of Ogun State, Amosun, he was passing by where they towed the truck. He told them that they should drop the truck. What they're supposed to do is to make sure that that truck parked very well. That gives me courage to know that he's a nice man.
We have new things in Odogbolu local government, which past governments have never done. So it's all new things, include the bridge, that they gave us at Ijebode, which everybody is celebrating now.
As the endorsements continue to pour in, the local government campaign tour of the APC moves to Yewa North local government area to sustain the tempo ahead of the date with March 28.
Well, the terror group Boko Haram has intensified its attacks in the northeast in recent times, though the Nigerian military has stepped up operations against the group. Recently, the group has extended its activities to Nigeria's neighbors, Niger and Cameroon, leading such nations to think more deeply about how to secure the region. Regional governments have now joined forces and have been making gains on towns and villages once occupied by Boko Haram. But the insurgency has created another problem: refugees and displaced persons fleeing to Chad. On our big story tonight, our foreign affairs correspondent Amarachi Ubani examines why.
Chad, Africa's fifth largest nation, is a semi-desert country, almost landlocked save for the Lake Chad that runs between it and Nigeria's northeast. Since its independence in 1960, it has been destabilized by one political crisis or the other. However, since late 2013, it has become the home for thousands fleeing the war in the Central African Republic. Now, it plays host to new guests it never expected, Nigerians. This is because Boko Haram insurgency in northeast Nigeria has displaced thousands from their homes, many of whom have traveled to neighboring states at camps provided for them by the Nigerian government. But the growing numbers is making life in the camp quite uncomfortable. And so, some are beginning to make their way into neighboring Niger, Cameroon and Chad. So far, the Dar es Salaam camp is the only official one in Chad, attending to those who make it across the Lake Chad. The place has recently become home to as many as 3,000 persons. Humanitarian agencies such as the UNHCR and its partners are providing them basic shelter, food and other necessities.
Ils ont froid,
They are cold because they have fled without taking anything with them. They arrived tired, and some are very hungry.
But the UN says thousands more remain stranded on some of the many islands on Lake Chad in dire need of food, water and shelter. According to the UN, as many as 30,000 Nigerian refugees are expected to enter Chad in the following months if the insurgency continues. Its major challenge, however, is getting help to those who really need it. What is more worrisome, according to the UN, is that more than 17,000 Nigerians have already taken refuge in Chad since May 2 years ago. 100,000 made their way to Niger, while 37,000 are in Cameroon.
As time goes on, people are trooping to the camp. So people overcrowded the camp with the amenities being provided. You see, we lack many things.
The challenge is how to reach people that is camping there. We know already there are more than 10,000 refugees and displaced people waiting for the food assistance that was due this week. I think the situation becomes even more challenging as we have no possibility to reach Boso.
As for Chad, about 1,000 people are entering the country on a daily basis, fleeing the insurgency. However, the Dar es Salaam camp can only accommodate 15,000 refugees. The major challenge is health-wise. There have been a number of outbreaks and diseases such as malaria and cholera, and a non-existent maternal health care. The Office of the Coordinator of Humanitarian Affairs in Chad says funding is key to keeping those in the camp as comfortable as possible. But with a growing number, it will be needing as much as $31 million to meet humanitarian needs in the Lake region. The World Food Programme, on the other hand, says it will need about $11 million to meet the needs of everyone. Where the funding will come from remains a question, as we continue to witness Africa's next growing humanitarian situation. For The Big Story, Amarachi Ubani, Channel Television News.
Well, the House of Representatives has passed the 2015-2017 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal paper and set the crude oil benchmark price at $54 per barrel. In a bid to ensure it completes work on the documents, the House received the report of its Joint Committee on the bill, considered and passed the recommendations put forward unanimously. The oil benchmark price passed by the House is higher than the $52 benchmark passed by the Senate last week. Our correspondent Lanre Lasisi reports.
The ayes have it.
The report of a joint committee on the 2015 to 2017 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal paper being laid before the House of Representatives. Determined to ensure that the report is passed, a supplementary other paper was produced and the chairman of the joint committee invited to present the report. The committee proposed $54 as the benchmark price of crude oil, as against the $65 proposed by the executive and the $52 approved by the Senate. The committee also proposed an exchange rate of 198 naira to the dollar, as against the 165 naira proposed by the executive. The Senate had approved 190 naira to the dollar.
The committee is of the opinion that the projected average exchange rates are not reasonable and appropriate, considering the volatility of naira at the moment and the strong demand for dollar. Efforts, however, should be made to continue to diversify the economy in order to stabilize the naira.
Part of what we have suggested in this joint committee to this honorable House is that benchmark cannot be $52. Mr. Speaker, we did our comparative studies. As we speak, other OPEC member countries that have passed their budget have also adopted a reasonable benchmark. Venezuela adopted $60 as their benchmark for international oil price. Saudi Arabia adopted $60 as their benchmark price. Iraq adopted $60 as their benchmark price.
The committee has proposed that, considering the fall in the price of crude, the total expenditure for Shore P be reduced from 102 billion naira to 21 billion naira. Without further debate, voting commenced on the recommendations.
Recommendation 5, 6, 7.
Now, both chambers will have to meet and agree on the benchmark price and other projections in the document before it can pass through the National Assembly. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
First Bank. You first.
Thanks for joining us for Business News on the News at 10. I am Gimba Umar. The chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Dr. Suleiman Ndanusa, says an integrated capital market within the West African region by 2016 is feasible. At a meeting in Abuja, Dr. Ndanusa explained that recent economic realities at the international market should be seen as an opportunity by countries in the region to boost activities in the capital market and adopt a policy that will boost the sector. He says harmonization of market processes and financial literacy remains key to achieving capital market integration.
Representatives of capital market institutions in the West Africa sub-region at a meeting to fast-track the development of the market through the adoption of regional protocols. The chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission outlined some of the benefits of the creation of an integrated capital market, which he says will serve as a catalyst to the growth of other sectors.
We attend stage 1 by 1st April of 2014. We are working towards stage 2 and 3. So obviously by latest by first quarter of 2016, we should have attained the 3 stages for integrating the capital market.
Besides the decrease in prices of oil at the international market, security threat and differences in currencies among countries in the sub-region appear to be a challenge to the attainment of the 2016 deadline. But many experts at this gathering, however, see a great economic potential for the region through the capital market.
Our initial projections are that with a population of over 300 million people, with a combined GDP of over $600 billion, with a landmass that is bigger than that of the European Union, we should see an incremental improvement in the GDP of the entire West African sub-region.
Cross-border securities trade is yet to be consummated under the platform, owing to issues bordering on technology and foreign exchange legislations. I'm also aware that the process of resolving these and other issues had commenced with the meeting of the Technical Committee for the Integration of the Capital Market in West Africa in Calabar in May 2014. It is my hope that Council will discuss the reports of that meeting dispassionately in the next 2 days with a view to resolving those issues and kickstart the process of reaping the benefits of this laudable achievement.
As the countdown to the attainment of an integrated capital market by 2016 begins, observers are watching to see if this dream will be realized in the days ahead.
The bulls gave way to the bears on profit taking after 14 straight days of trade in the greens. The all-share index dropped by 0.82% today. Temple Ashaju reports.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Now, after 14 straight days of positive bargain hunting, the bulls gave way to the bears on profits taken. The all-share index dropped to 0.82% to the session at 30,365.05 with a market capitalization of 10.13 trillion naira. Market breadth turned negative as there were 27 losers to 16 price appreciators. Forte Oil was the top price loser for the day as investors booked 7 naira off the equity. It's followed by Julius Berger and Nigerian breweries. Now, on the other hand, the top 3 price appreciators with price gains ranging between 5 naira 80 kobo and 71 kobo are Mobile, Guinness and Wando PLC. FBN Holdings, Zenith Bank, and Union Day Consult were the top 3 most actively traded equities for the day. When stocks crossed the finish line, over 378.74 million shares had been exchanged by investors in 3,883 deals, valued at 4.12 billion naira. That's it on the Stock Market Report. I'm Temple Ashaju.
And that's it on Business News on the News at 10. Ijoma will be back with the rest of the news at 10. I'm Gimba Umar as we leave you with the global market figures.
First Bank. You first.
Still ahead on the news at 10, players and officials of Nigeria League champions Kano Pillars injured following a robbery on the Abaji Lokoja Road. That's on sports. Join us again.